So good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. This is Kevin Thornton, the wellness architect, and I have an amazing show for you tonight. So for tonight, I focus a lot on Black men and what they are doing in the world because mainstream media does not showcase us in a positive light. They showcase us doing all the negative things, but there are a lot of men out in the world that are doing great things and doing great things for our children. And this one man is doing an amazing thing. And when I found out about him, I had to interview him. His name is Quatrell Walker. And I want to introduce you, welcome him to the show. So tell everybody who you are, what you do, how you get to this point right here, right now.
Hey, I appreciate the blessings, Kevin. First and foremost, thank you for having me and getting this word out to a lot of people, a lot of youth, and a lot of what I'm saying to the adult as well, too. So let's impact. That's where it starts at. My name, like I said, is Quatrell Walker, a two-time author. I have a book that I wrote. It's called Cut from a Different Cloth and Embracing Your Uniqueness for the Next Generation, pretty much. So I came up with that title of the book because we're all cut from a different cloth. Everybody is cut from a different cloth, but it's how we weave that everyday life into the tapestry that makes us. So from the good cloth to the bad cloth, you got your gray days, you got your bright, vivid yellow days, where you all point. So it was up, to me to being in this position from working with one of my mentors, Les Brown, and a couple others that are out there. I give acknowledgement to expand this gift that I have, and give that out by telling my story to the youth of today and letting them know that anything is possible, that they can do it. I was once counted out as a youth myself, and I just didn't let that get to me. I was an IEP kid, the kid in the daggone class was 6 kids, 8 kids, 10 kids, no more than 12. Because, Quatrell going to be off doing his own thing. So, it was already almost like a cast off. So, and I didn't have that, mentorship or guidance per se, as like a role model figure, somebody that you can look up to and go, okay, you live outside the box. How you doing it? What are you doing right now to better yourself? I was kind of out there just trying to pave my own way, and some of it was a rocky road, so I found myself in a lot of trouble, trying to get the quick money, doing things that, you look back on and be like, what is you doing, So being able to help the youth out, especially in like charter schools, our inner city, where they already pretty much, counted out, bringing these kids back up to the level to let them know that anything that they envision within their mind, they can go ahead and it will come true to pass. It's just a matter of time and how much hard work and consistency and that dedication are you willing to put forth into that vision and that dream. It's easy for the societal system when you get kids in high school or even below that, 7th, 8th grade. What do you want to be? Oh, your test scores, you would be a great police officer or a firefighter, or maybe you could be a doctor because you scored high. So it's always grooming, our youth into what they want to do. And at the time, you start chasing a check and you don't even really realize it. Oh, that would be great. I want to go ahead and do this or do that. Well, then you lose that vision and that sight of what you truly have. And then that R word comes into your vocabulary. And I don't like to say it, but it's regret. You really regret the things that you once thought about. Man, I wish I could have, or I could have expanded upon that if I didn't go this way, But it's never too late. I try to let them know that too, as the adults. It's never too late. It's just a little harder because your life is more, chaotic. It's a lot easier to be able to, tap into the youth and let them know, let's go ahead and keep that vision in the forefront of what it is that you truly want to do, because you're a great artist, man. I see your drawings are beautiful. Like, let's go ahead and keep expanding upon that. If your parents ain't going to push it on to you, let me help you out with wherever I can. You know what I mean? Just so you don't lose that craft, that gift that God has given you. I mean, because not everybody can draw. And that's just one analogy that I'm using.
Right. So one of the things I noticed about you is that you really like to pour into the kids and put my positivity into them. And what I understand from the life coach perspective, I deal with a lot of the men. Like I told you prior to logging in, if the men had guys like you growing up, they won't need as many of me as an adult because all they're looking for me as an adult, as a life coach, is someone to love them and to pour into them that they didn't get poured into as a child.
Right. How many kids said you heard the word you can't, or you'll never be able to, or are you crazy? Things that someone has injected into their young minds sticks to them throughout time. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like I would much rather be in a physical type relationship where you can go ahead and beat my behind until it's sore, okay? Because that wound is going to heal. But when you start cutting me down and you start saying things that I can't and it starts to resonate and stick, I'm going to shut down anytime I try to go outside the box or try to achieve something that I wanted to achieve because of that thought that you already embedded in me ever since I was young. You see, that sticks with you. So I mean, there's a great need for guys like yourself helping the adults out because at some point in time in their life, they might have encompassed some type of traumas like that. So they need you as an adult to go ahead and work them through that. And it might be addressing those hard times from back then. But really, it's all about ego. And see, when you have young kids, they don't have an ego. They're developing that. So it's a lot easier in a sense to be able to cultivate a change within them so they don't keep that ego and just block everything out. You want to let them know that it's okay. You're not going to be right every time. You're going to get it wrong. But when you're able to understand that process, that is the part of growth. So now you're growing into an adult. So you're growing and you've already made the or the bad change, negative outcomes happen in your life. You're not going to revisit them. You're going to go ahead and persevere through them, learn from them, and grow from them, and know how that feeling made you feel. You see, and not revisit that again. So when you talk about the adults, Kevin, sometimes I tell you it's a lot harder for adults to show that to let that ego aside because they don't want to let you into that emotional state because now they're vulnerable. You see, and anybody who's and at the adult capacity don't want to feel vulnerable. They don't. That's not a good feeling. You don't want to hit it head on. So when you are able to, tap into the minds and help these young kids out and let them know that all of those things are okay, minus what everybody else is telling you. You're a big sissy because you're crying. No, I'm crying because I'm emotional. Matter of fact, let me pray for you. You need to get on my level, okay?
Right.
But it's really life changing when you have somebody, and they make it to high school or the next level in their life, and they come back and reach back to you and say, you know what, Mr. Q, I really appreciate the words that you have said. It really helped me throughout, a tough time. And that's all I need is just that one, because then they get it. So now I know that job well done. They're going to go out and impact somebody else from the lessons that they learned. You see how that works? It's a domino effect.
Absolutely. So, how did you end up becoming mentored by Les Brown?
Oh man, I said to myself when I started this journey, I said, man, who could I get aligned with? I said I got to go with the GOAT. I said I'm gonna go out there and do the Legendary Speakers Academy, align myself with him, get down there so he can go ahead and work on me, with me as a speaker. And we actually developed a book together and 14 other co-authors called the Motivation Manifesto. That's a blessing in itself. So being able to go through the program with Les, man, was a blessing. I still work with Les, communicate with him. I mean, you can't turn down a network like that. That's beautiful, beautiful people right there. Great soul. But not only that too, I wanted to work on speaking in general, because the biggest thing as a fear factor is public speaking. So especially when you're up in front of, I don't care the crowd, it could be adults, kids, and kids would be the hardest thing because if you're not coming out, setting them on fire and getting them amped up, you look like, who's this guy?
Right.
Who's this big Google? I don't even want to hear what you got to say. And then to be able to hold their attention span, that's a ballpark in itself. So working with John Maxwell, with E.T., Eric Thomas, Jeremy Anderson, Anthony Trucks. I mean, I'm working with a lot of big boys out there to get me on the right track to be able to achieve the mission that I'm trying to work on. And that's, cut from a different cloth and getting that message out there for the youth as well as the adults.
Okay. So you said some heavy hitter names. So which one gravitates to you the most?
I think more along the lines. I have more of a one-on-one with like Les. You type dude, you pick the phone up and chop it up with him. Get on a Zoom call, chop it up with him. Just more hands-on. But I no discredit to any of the other programs and mentors that I've mentored with. All excellent people. John Maxwell's team, phenomenal. The program that they put on at with IMC, absolutely phenomenal. Working with Anthony Trucks and working out of the dark room with his message and learning how to craft your message. I mean, because in this industry, it's the art of telling your story. And I tell that to the adults as well as the kids. The kids is more along the lines of you're creating your journey. You're paving the way. Well, the adults, you already been on the road. You know what I mean? Now let's go ahead and capture what you've done in your life. So we can take those L's, those lifelong lessons learned, and then put them into a story so you can go out and impact others. And a lot of that is getting over the fear of, like I said, that vulnerability, because usually those are the skeletons in the closet that you don't want to talk about. But that's what's going to help other people, get over that next hump in their life. Because now it's like, oh man, he went through that. Oh man, if he got through it, now I can do the same thing he did. If he's able to do it, I can do it.
Absolutely. So, was you working with these heavy hitters? What's your vision for you and your whole speaking career?
Yeah, right now I'm trying to impact over 100,000 students and educators. Bottom line, I mean, I get to 100,000 students and educators. I feel like that's a blessing in itself, and I'm still on that road to getting there. Nothing stops day by day. I'm on the grind doing what I do, networking and talking with personnel like yourself, Kevin, on podcasts and just being in the community. That's the biggest thing. I mean, you got to be in the community. If you're not in the community, nobody knows, who you are and what you stand for and what you're doing. So my vision is to be able to impact 100,000 students and educators for going for 2026. That's the goal. That's my alignment. And working with the individuals that I'm working with and the network that I already have with like JR. I mean, there's no sky the limit. It's just staying consistent at what you do on your craft and beating the drum every day.
Okay. So, 100,000 students and teachers. How outside of networking, how are you going to create that outcome to manifest itself?
I mean, you gotta think about it every day. I mean, work on it every day. I mean, because it only takes one time. You might have 100 closed doors in your face, but that next one that open up, boom, that could be it. It's a little bit easier since I've been doing this for some time, and the data that I have that is around the brand now is getting recognized. So it's a lot easier for jobs to come up and potential jobs because they see what I'm doing. I'm not just a person who's out there motivating or whatever. I'm in there working with kids. I'm in a 4-H program every day working with kids in schools. So it's not like, oh, let's bring Motivated Q who talks about, the kids and getting them hyped. No, I'm actually working with kids every day, developing their minds so they know that they can go ahead and be the next innovator. You can be the next Steve Jobs.
And the reason why I brought that up is because a lot of times when I coach my adults and I ask them what their vision is, they're never as direct and as uh, exact as you. They're
Right.
very because what you say is very detailed.
Yes.
So and therefore, it leaves you an opportunity to not make it. But you're not looking at it from that perspective. And I think a lot of times people are scared to say exactly what they want and fear of not making it. So what would you tell someone, kids and or adults, when it's time for them to figure out what their vision is as we head into 2026? How can you talk to them in a sense to make them understand you got to be very exact of what you want to do in your life?
Yeah, you got to drown everything out that's coming from the outside. Bottom line up front. Okay. I mean, if you need any other vision or choice or guidance, you just look at the book and to tell you, walk with what? Walk by what? Faith, and not by what? Sight. Okay. That's it. You got to have faith and believe in what you're doing. Okay. Not visually seeing it. It's not going to manifest itself overnight. Okay, but if you keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you walking within your purpose, what the inner being is telling you what to do that makes you feel the best and blessed, then everything else is going to align itself. All the other stuff will come into play. But you gotta be hungry. You gotta be hungry. You really do, man. That's my mentor coming out of you. But you really do honestly have to be hungry and eat, sleep, and live and breathe what you're trying to do, whatever your mission is, whatever your goal is, you know. And I don't really care what it is that you do. You could be a basket weaver. You could be doing crochet, any type of entrepreneurial business or hobbyist or whatever the case may be. If you're trying to get yourself to the next level, you literally have to be doing it every single day, working on that. Somebody's going to catch on. It only takes one person. One person going to tell another person, and that other person going to say something else. Next thing you know, you're going to be working and not even realize you're working in your craft.
Right. So to piggyback off of that, so how do you, what would you say to the people who want to be an entrepreneur or want to be a public speaker, but the fear of rejection or not having the get up and go like you to do it every day is preventing them from getting to that point? What would you say to them?
You gotta be resilient, man. You gotta have some resiliency because we all gonna have tough times. There's days I don't want to get up and do what I gotta go do. But I know if I don't go to the gym, I'm not gonna be functioning, ready to go in the morning. That's my morning routine. Okay? You gotta change your habit. Okay, number one, first and foremost. If you're willing to do anything, I tell a lot of my clients as well as kids, I'm not gonna dump 50% of stuff on you. That's information overload. I want you to do one thing, and that's change one little small incremental thing at 1%. You do something 1% different each day. Just imagine the culmination over 365. And that one small thing could be just waking up early. If you beat your alarm clock, okay? If you're not a morning riser and you set your alarm clock, okay, and you beat that alarm clock getting up, guess how I feel about my day already?
Good.
Okay, I've already accomplished something. Now I'm like, all right, that gets me spinning the wheels. I get in there, brush my teeth, get my stuff going, wash my face, and I start daily affirmations. I'm gonna have a great day. I'm truly blessed. My financial situation is excellent. Any and everything that I want to speak into fruition, I'm gonna speak that. See, the problem is that I can't say the problem. People just, it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
The power of your tongue, I'm going to tell you this, it has the way to make you or break you. So if you're not speaking life into yourself every day, you're going to be broken. You know, it's hard to put those pieces back together because once something you encounter comes up, you'd be like, oh, I identify with that. I know what's coming. Then you're going to be like, nah, shut down and push it away. You don't want to do that. So bring it in, work on yourself, change your habits, do something 1% that's going to better yourself each day and be resilient and stay proficient in your craft, what it is that you truly want to do, because nobody can tell you that it's not going to happen except for you. You're your own demise, okay? Because here's the deal. It's selfish because I can't tell you can't do something that came to you. That's your dream, your vision. Nobody else saw what you saw, okay? You can't do that. We wouldn't have half the innovations. We wouldn't have, like I said, you got Elon Musk, you got Steve Jobs. I mean, there's so many innovators that have created things that came from here and then worked on it that made it possible. So
Right.
one of the old greats I like is Albert Einstein. Man, he said something that was really really great, and it's not that I'm smart, it's that I stick with problems long enough. Okay, it's not that I'm smart, but I stick with problems long enough. I'm
Right.
not just going to run away at the first sight of a problem. I'm going to find out because we have so many resources available to us today. I mean, there's so many resources. if you want to find out something, you go to AI nowadays. AI is the future. They taking over. Go to chat. Let it ask them. So if you don't know, you have the resources to find out and then start building it. But the problem is people don't take the time to write their vision down, a vision board or something to hold themselves accountable so that they can see it every day and work on that. Because here's the thing, I'm not going to tell you something and then I'm not doing it. I mean, come on. What kind of sense is that? Okay, right. So you just gotta put the time and energy and effort into it, and what you do, you'll get out of it. Reap what you sow.
Absolutely. So you tackle something that I speak on a lot about to my clients, which is you have to have some form of a daily routine or daily ritual as you get up in the morning to get yourself started. For me, when I wake up, I instantly, hydrate and I say a prayer, and then I do my meditations, and then from there I go to the gym. I don't look at my phone until after the gym is over with, because the phone would make you become reactive instead of being proactive.
That's right.
Now you're trying to respond to these text messages or notifications. So I don't want that. I don't want to be distracted. I want to have this time through prayer, meditation, in the gym to let God speak to me and how He wants to speak to me at that time. So then, from that point, I'm set in my vision, and I like that. Here. What is yours? So maybe between mine and yours, they can figure out game plan.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you like this. Mine starts before I even go to sleep, period. Okay? Before I go to sleep, because if you got something that weighs heavy on your shoulders and you go to sleep with it, number one, you're going to be tossing and turning all night because you're thinking about it. And number two, when you wake up in the morning, you think that's going away. No, you just carried it right over to you. So how your day going to start? How you think your day going to start? You already starting off bad. So first and foremost, before bed, turn your phones off, get you 30 minutes, read a good book, digress from the day and self-reflect on the day. What was positive that you did throughout the day? Okay. What was my 1% today? Okay. Who did I make better? Okay. In that process. Now I'm going to go to sleep on those thoughts. So when I wake up, now I'm ready to go. Okay. Let's start off the next day. Excellent. Never go to sleep with something heavy on your shoulders. No arguments, nothing that, that you're worried about. So you always want to let that go and start fresh. So when I get up in the morning, the first thing is military minded, being in the service, is getting to the gym, man. Get to the gym and get that body, your temple, that battery charged up. So now you're ready to go. Once 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock, whatever the workday calls for, and you got yourself ready to go, you should be good. You ready to get on that phone, answer emails, texts, and everything else. It's funny because in a corporate world, when you get to the office, or you used to be in the office and you see people and they at the copier machines and they talk about how their weekend was, you don't hear nothing positive ever. I don't hear nothing positive. It's like, oh, so-and-so did this, or did you see on the news or that and this? Like, listen, I don't have block all that kind of stuff out. So thankfully now is that I took myself out of that environment. So I surround myself with what I want to surround myself with, and that's positive, people in my circle that I associate with. So I don't have a lot of negative nannies, and if I do, I can control them, just rebound them off and self-reflect and leave.
So what do you recommend for people who are looking to do what you do, or even do what I do, and they're trying to find the proper networks to get into, so they can start to network with the proper people to help them elevate into their career?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. I do stuff myself. I'm not gatekeeping. Just kind of like what we doing on here, having these conversations. I host Zoom calls. I got a little private group. I'm sure you do too as well, Kevin, where I can get this message out and work with those individuals that are trying to, because most people don't have that positive influence in their circle. Somebody who's always going to be like, yeah, I believe in you. You could do that, or whatever. You see what I'm saying? I think that's a great idea. Why don't you go ahead? Or let me help you facilitate it. There's not a lot of people that are out there unless you're among them. And if you're among them, if you got 5 of your friends that's doing well, you're gonna be the sixth one because they're gonna bring you up type mentality. But
Right.
for the conversation that we're having, for the people that are struggling and trying, they need to surround themselves in those rooms, chats, get with people that are actually doing things that's positive out in the community, that's showing up and showing out instead of just talking about it. You need people that are walking that walk and align with them, because that's what's going to help you get yourself to the next level. No different than what JR is doing, building a platform for speakers to come on so they can get their message out from having a hard time. So it's a blessing, man. Just got to be with the right people in the right rooms to make things happen. The old saying is teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely. So, do you ever plan on wanting to do a TED Talk?
Yeah, that's 18 minutes, man. I was thinking about it. I have a story that I crafted, and it was working on. It was called Dreams, and
Mhm.
it actually talked about when I was a youngster playing with GI Joes, and then having a little bit of the trouble road, and then really digging deep inside, self reflection of where I wanted to be. So I went back to that GI Joe and how I felt at that time, and then that's when I ran to the service and was in the army for the time that I was in before I retired out. And that to me was the epiphany moment of, okay, I just made one dream happen. What else can I make happen? You know what I mean? And it was a great career. But unfortunately, 2004 almost had me cut short with the IED blast, and JR was there to help out, make sure everything was good. But that was the epiphany. This ain't for me. Got the man got something else planned for me for something greater, and it was time for me to hang the boots up on the wire, which I did. So that's when I started working on myself and that journey and finding out what it truly is that I wanted to do, and that was provide impact. Not only to those entrepreneurs that are struggling, but to our youth, so they don't have the chance to struggle.
Hmm. So, how much do you say uh, being in the service play a big part of who you have become because
Uh,
of all the discipline that is embedded in you guys being in the service?
100%. I mean, that's the ethos, man. I mean, it's the soldier's creed. I mean, the things that you do, you're gonna be you're different already once you make it through basic training. If you make it through basic training, you're different. Your whole structure is different. I mean, some people can convert it to being institutionalized, but you know what it is. It's military dress right dress. If something's off, you're gonna know. You know what I mean? And my attention to detail and how to go through about PMCSing and doing the QAQCs and making sure everything was on dressed right dress just
Mm.
helped me bestow that within people's lives, because I was able to break it down and look at my own as a self reflection and be like, okay, I see what I need to do, work on myself, which is every day. And now I could go ahead and have the right mentors to craft it and be able to work with others to be able to shape them so they can build a better life for themselves as well.
Okay. So I know you focus a lot on the kids, but I need you to speak to some of the men for me, please.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is it, man. I mean, if you're a young king out there, like you said, the 23, 24, all even 30-year-olds, sometimes you get guys in midlife crisis, 40 and up sometimes.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no counting yourself out. I mean, the bottom line, honestly, man, you really got to dig deep inside of yourself. Look into yourself and find out what it is that you want instead of just chasing money, 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 money.
Mm.
Money's just it's monetarily there. It's a tool. It's a tool to let you do other things. That's all it is, but it's not going to make you happy. Once you find out what it is that truly makes you happy, then work on that. Just build it, shape it like a mold, a clay pottery. Shape your pottery. Shape your life into what you want to shape it into. Because somebody is going to align with what you have to offer. Here's the deal. We have 8 billion people on the planet, okay? 8
Hmm.
billion. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of bodies. All right.
Hmm.
Now, there's so many people, they're trying to make us cut some population down because we taking up so much resources. That's here nor there. But with that kind of people, you just want to grasp 1%, a half a fraction of that 8 billion people at what you're good at. I think that you'd be able to take the fruits off the tree anytime. You'd be good to go.
You know what? If people saw from that perspective, they won't quit. as easily. But what they see is, I'm on social media and my friends is not helping me out. They not supporting me. My family not supporting me. I had these people in my group and they're not supporting me. I need to give up.
I love
And
it, man. I love that.
and if they hear that from what you just said, you might not need them. The friends, the family, people in your little group, they might love you, but they might not be part of the tribe of people that you're being called to touch.
Correct.
And you,
Correct.
and you have to be okay with that and
Yep.
not allow that to prevent you from striving further and striving further to reach the people
Right.
you because the ones that you feel closest to you are not supporting you. They're
Right.
not supporting you because it's not for them. You for somebody else.
Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly it. Listen, if I had quit from listening to family members or listening to friends and people thinking that I got five heads on because what I'm talking is crazy. Listen,
Mhm.
they're watching now. They looking now. You know. So high school old like old people like principals, teachers back in the day that wrote me off. They looking now. So I don't care. That's good that you looking. That's cool because everybody's version of success is different. Okay.
Mhm.
Everybody's version of success is different. It's the happiness that what is brought behind that. And then you can antiquate that to a certain success level. If it's monetarily, okay, great. But for me, it's the impact. Like I said, for young adults as well as kids, I really like the kids because that's our generation for tomorrow. So if I could go ahead and just nip it all in the bud at where it started at, then I'm gonna try to do my best to do so their mindset can get reframed and redefined, and they'll get on the right line, the right wave.
Absolutely. So I know for me, I used to be in the 100 Black Men. So I used to work with the kids as well. And I understand the why you do what you do because, when I was in the 100 Black Men, I coached basketball and track and field. And so they build this love for you as their coach, and you pushing them, and then to see them strive for greatness and they succeed and they just so happy that fills you up. And then when they see you out and about in the store stuff like that, and they come hug you, you're doing a great job. You know what I'm saying? So I understand completely why what you do what you do.
Yeah.
Before we end this, can you do a final thought that's going
Yeah.
to resonate with everybody?
Yeah, I mean, my final thought, honestly, is that if you're really trying to better yourself and you really want to work on yourself, then become one with yourself. Take the time and sit by yourself and find out what it is that you want. Once you find out your why in life, then you have a foundation that you can actually start to build. And once you put the structures up, don't let all the outside riffraff like the three little pigs had a big bad wolf try to come in and blow your house down. Okay, because that's gonna happen. If you can keep on building your house up and keeping that foundation solid with what you have here and what's inside of your heart there, it's a life changing moment. It's going to change you. There's no, and once you start to see this change incrementally, all you got to do is see a little bit, just a little bit. Once you see that for yourself, then that's going to give you that extra motivation to keep going harder, 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 because you just saw that little bit that had from here came out.
Absolutely. So, how can everybody follow you, support you? So, keep in touch with what you're doing. What's your social media,
Yeah.
email, all that type of stuff?
Listen, if you want to get in contact with me, you can go right to my website. It's quatrellwalker.com. Easy breezy. QUATRELL walker.com. That'll bring you right to the website. You have the contact page. You can talk with me there. But I'm a personable type of dude, man. I answer the phone. So you can reach out and link with me at my number. So 315 965 3030. You can get with me there. But you can check me on Facebook. at Quattrell Walker. Same thing with LinkedIn as well as Instagram. Cut from a Different Cloth is the book. You can check that out on Amazon. And also Motivation Manifesto, man. So I'm giving you literally in the Cut from a Different Cloth series is the blueprint on how to be able to take that mindset, shift it, so you can actually start to see some progression throughout your life.
Brother, I thank you so much. You have dropped a lot of gems. I truly appreciate you. However, I could be of assistance to you, I'm there for you, brother. Let's just know that.
Hey, blessings for you, Kevin, for even doing what you're doing, man, and continue on what you're doing because God got a purpose for you, man. You already walking it. So keep shining that light, my brother.
All right. Thank you, brother. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.